Ah, Days Gone. The game that launched with so many bugs, players probably spent more time screaming at invisible walls than fighting hordes. Critics labeled it generic zombie chaos, but now, Deacon St. John rides into our hearts like a two-wheeled hero of the apocalypse. The Oregon open world is huge, with freakers, abandoned towns, and roads begging for uncontrolled motorcycle mayhem. Horde battles? Absolutely chaotic. Imagine 400 freakers charging at you while your bike is squealing, your gun jams, and your heart is doing gymnastics. Half the fight is screaming at the AI, the other half is laughing at the absurdity. And the story? Initially overlooked, Deacon's journey through grief, sarcasm, and PTSD hits surprisingly hard. You start caring about towns, side characters, and yes, even your trusty motorcycle. Riding around in the post-apocalyptic wilderness is oddly therapeutic, until a freaker leaps out of nowhere. With community patches and time, Days Gone transformed from flop to cult classic. Messy, ridiculous, funny, and emotional. It's everything you never knew you needed. If you enjoy zombies, motorcycles, and chaotic survival, this one's for you. Cyberpunk 2077, the infamous launch disaster. Bugs, crashes, broken promises, memes everywhere. But CD Projekt Red didn't quit. Years of updates and the Phantom Liberty DLC turned Night City into a living, breathing cyberpunk paradise. The streets are alive, NPCs behave mostly human, and V's journey is intense, dramatic, and surprisingly emotional. Combat, hacking, card chases, it's all smooth now. What was once a laughingstock is now a lesson in perseverance and patching as an art form. Cyberpunk 2077 finally delivers on its massive hype, proving redemption is possible in gaming.
The ultimate redemption story. At launch, No Man's Sky was a barren universe with empty promises. Players joked about naming rocks and crying into the void. Fast forward, Hello Games completely rebuilt the game. Multiplayer, base building, alien worlds, and real ecosystems. Flying through alien storms, discovering strange creatures, or accidentally destroying a friend's base? Pure joy. The flopped forever label is gone. No Man's Sky is now celebrated as one of the most ambitious exploration games ever. It proves that dedication and love from developers can turn public perception upside down.
The Order 1886 was hated for being short and linear, but let's be honest, it's a visual masterpiece. Victorian London, Gothic architecture, steampunk style, it's stunning even today. Combat is smooth, characters have personality, and the story, though brief, is engaging. It's atmospheric, cinematic, and hilarious in British chaos moments. Imagine sipping tea while fighting half-man, half-monster hybrids. The Order 1886 proves not every flop is bad. Some just missed their audience. Alien Isolation terrified everyone at launch. Slow pacing confused casual gamers, but horror fans rejoiced. The alien hunts you intelligently. The ship's corridors are claustrophobic, and every sound makes you panic. You hide in lockers, crawl vents, and pray you don't breathe too loudly. Every failed attempt makes survival feel epic. Initially criticized as too hard, it's now celebrated as one of the best survival horror experiences ever. Panic, fear, and hilarity ensue.
Buried under Metal Gear Solid 5, Mad Max was overlooked, but its open world, insane car combat, and post-apocalyptic chaos shine today. Wastelands are gorgeous, storms cinematic, and the combat brutal yet satisfying. Driving a car while flipping enemies and shouting at the sky? Pure Mad Max joy. What flopped in 2015 is now a cult favorite.
Titanfall 2, the game everyone loved critically but ignored commercially. Its single-player campaign is nothing short of genius. From the first level, you're introduced to BT, a giant mech buddy who somehow has more personality than half the people you know. The bond you form with him is hilarious, heartfelt, and occasionally terrifying when you realize he can crush buildings and still have better etiquette than your high school crush. Then there's the level design. Remember the time travel level? Absolute chaos in the best possible way. One moment you're shooting enemies, the next everything flips upside down, gravity does whatever it feels like, and you're screaming at your controller wondering if the laws of physics just took a vacation. Meanwhile, the multiplayer, fast, fluid, and absolutely ridiculous. Titans falling from the sky, pilots parkouring everywhere. It's organized chaos at its finest. The humor comes naturally too. You'll laugh at how the AI pilots flail in the air, how your Titan sometimes decides it wants to take a scenic detour, or when a grenade lands in the most inconvenient spot possible. Titanfall 2 flopped not because it was bad, but because timing betrayed it, sandwiched between bigger releases. Today, it's considered a masterpiece, a cold classic, and a game you'll replay just to relive the insanity of gravity-defying, mech-powered chaos.
At first glance, Spec Ops: The Line looks like a generic military shooter. Spoiler, it isn't. You start expecting endless firefights and generic war cliches, but the game flips that on your head. Every choice makes you question your morality, your sanity, and frankly, your life decisions. And it's hilarious in a dark, uncomfortable way when you realize you're cheering for the bad guys because the so-called heroes are, well, terrible. The Dubai setting is destroyed but visually stunning, and the AI sometimes behaves like it's on vacation, giving you moments of unintentional comedy. Bullets whiz, civilians panic, and your squad mates say ridiculous lines that make you laugh and cringe simultaneously. Commercially, it flopped, but now players call it brilliant. The story sticks with you long after you put down the controller, and the mix of tension, chaos, and accidental humor makes it unforgettable. Spec Ops: The Line isn't just a shooter, it's an emotional roller coaster with a darkly comedic side.
Initially, Prey confused players. Slow-paced, complex, and sometimes punishing, but that's exactly why it's brilliant. Arcane Studios created a sci-fi world where every room has secrets, every choice matters, and every alien encounter makes you scream. Sometimes in fear, sometimes in frustration at the AI being ridiculously smart. The story unfolds gradually, blending horror, mystery, and humor. Your character talks to sarcastic AI, encounters alien pests that behave unpredictably, and occasionally trips over objects because physics is chaotic here too. Exploration is rewarding and often funny when you accidentally fling an alien across the room. Fans now call it one of the best immersive sims ever made. Initially overlooked, Prey proves that thoughtful design, humor, and clever gameplay will eventually earn respect, even if launch week confused the world.
When Breakpoint first launched, it was buggy, frustrating, and full of microtransactions. But Ubisoft didn't quit. Updates, survival mechanics, and AI improvements transformed it into an immersive tactical shooter. Now, sneaking through enemy camps, coordinating attacks with teammates, and yelling at AI that still does funny things like hiding behind a bush awkwardly is pure entertainment. The open-world Alaska setting is breathtaking, and every firefight is a mix of chaos and strategy. Originally flopped, but today Breakpoint shines as one of Ubisoft's most redeemed titles.
After the disappointment of the first Watch Dogs, people ignored the sequel. Big mistake. Watch Dogs 2 is hilarious, colorful, and packed with personality. Marcus, the protagonist, jokes through hacking missions while you do ridiculous things like hacking drones to scare civilians. The city of San Francisco feels alive, and the hacking mechanics allow for creative chaos. Players now call it one of Ubisoft's smartest, funniest games, a flop turned gem.
Callisto Protocol launched with a lot of hate. Short, repetitive, and overly cinematic. Players were like, is this a game or a horror movie with bad pacing? But patches changed everything. Combat is now smooth, AI behaves properly, and the scares actually land. The alien monsters? Absolutely terrifying. One moment you're sneaking, the next you scream because a creature lunged out of nowhere. The tight corridors make you panic, but also laugh when you accidentally slam a door into your own face. Visuals are top tier, and the sound design keeps you on edge. Originally criticized, now Callisto Protocol is celebrated as a modern horror masterpiece.
Jump scares, tense combat, and ridiculous alien deaths make it a must-play for anyone who loves being scared while secretly enjoying the chaos.
Fallen Order had performance issues on launch, but the game itself is fantastic. Lightsaber combat is satisfying, climbing, force powers, and exploration feel epic. The story is emotional, humorous at times, and Star Warsy enough to make fans grin like a kid at a toy store. Players initially overlooked it, but now the game is praised as the ultimate single-player Star Wars experience. You'll laugh at awkward droid lines, scream at annoying enemies, and feel like a Jedi Master by the end. What flopped at release is now a galactic gem,